Norman? Norman? Are you out here somewhere, Norman? Norman? Norman, are you there? Where are you, Norman? I've seen you every other time I've looked for you, I found you. Come on, Norman. Are you there, Norman? Norman? Norman, where are you? Well, Norman doesn't want to come out, I guess. It might be too early. We'll wait for the sun to come up. Oh, hey everybody. It is Glenn with the almost world-famous Cactus Atlas. And I'm here camping in the rocks. It's really early morning. I don't even know what time it is yet. I'm gonna guess the 5 a.m. hour here in New Mexico at a place called City of Rocks State Park in southwest New Mexico, not far outside of Silver City, which I'm probably gonna be driving through later on this episode. Now back to Norman. So I'm at City of Snakes, City of Rocks, New Mexico, which I have been calling City of Snakes. I'm here in early June, and I do have a friend that has been here virtually anytime I come to the campsite. I named him Norman, even though I think it might be a female of its species. I do have footage of Norman, so you're going to get to see Norman here in a second, but I'm just trying to spot Norman so I have awareness of where Norman is, because Norman's dangerous, but Norman's also very nice. I don't know if you could see this crack here. Sometimes you could see Norman if you bend down. Depends on how far back. Norman might be in there now. Norman might be waiting for the sun to come out. Which is not abnormal. Although yesterday Norman was out in the heat of the day too. But this is Norman's territory, I think. So Norman does rotate. And sometimes you walk right by Norman and don't even realize it. Norman, I need to know where you are. You're not under my truck. So that way we don't hurt each other. And yeah, I think I named Norman after that baby cow. Isn't that the name of the baby cow from the movie City Slickers? Not that Norman's necessarily a baby. But I just thought that's the name that came to mind. And then it's just weird because sometimes you scan the landscape for Norman, and you go past this spot, past that spot, over and over, and then all of a sudden it pops into view. And you're like, how did I miss that? That's how well Norman stays camouflaged. So I was making another video here. It was gonna be kind of a spotlight of this campground for camp view, which I never finished it. It's rare that I don't finish something I started off with, but I won't go into all the detail about that. But Norman was going to be featured in that video. So the footage I'm going to share with you was meant to be part of like this campground review episode on Camp View that now is not going to be released. So I might as well share it here. So why don't we share a few clips of Norman and you can see for yourself. I'm going to show you something really quick, and this is not to scare anybody or cause panic, but I think it's important to demonstrate something to you, especially this time of the year out here. I think I see a rattler. See that down there? There's a snake all curled up. Not bothering anybody. I can't tell, it blends in so well. It's just staying camouflaged. It doesn't, I'm not gonna bother it. I'm gonna zoom in. I have a different camera that might work better because I'm keeping my distance. So see that little crevice there? I bet you that's its den. And it's come out now that the sun has gone down. I'm gonna guess there's little mice and things around here. But, you know, if you're exploring in these rocks, I think that's a very good lesson to learn. I don't want to look for more. I don't want to know. That doesn't really bother me. It's really just a case of, I brought my headlamp, so it's probably good to be responsible and take a look around my immediate campsite. I like snakes, to be honest with you. They don't bother me, but you just need to be vigilant. My biggest fear, I guess, if you want to even call it a fear, would be one going under my tent. And then I'd be walking around in the night or something and I'd hear the rattle underneath me. That would kind of suck. But, I mean, they're really hard to see. I barely saw that one. But I'm programmed to be careful. If you know the Cactus Atlas and the kind of places I explore, you would understand I had a close call just a few days ago, in fact. But we can hopefully get a nice little look. Oh shit. There's a rattlesnake under there. I'm out of there. But yet another, what I presume is a rattler. I don't want to throw a rock at it and get it to rattle for you. I'm not about that. I just like to leave them be. This is their landscape. I know that'll freak somebody out. Sorry, but it's not going to change the facts. All I want to know is like which species or what kind of snake is it. I still see it. Like, you wouldn't notice it. Like, if you were just casually walking, there's no way. I just have been programming myself to pay attention because of recent things. And my eyes are getting trained, I think. There's just these subtle things about it. And your brain just kind of knows. So my advice would be, like, walking around here, watch where you walk. But watch, you know, like things like that, where there are rocks like that. I would just kind of give yourself a few feet and maybe try to conduct all your business around the campsite by darkness. So you don't have to, you know, empty the trash in the middle of the night, because that's just feet away from that. But I guess finding those little crevices like that, I guess, might be a clue as to where they might live. Bet you if I started inspecting all of this or walking back further, who the heck knows what we'd find. And see, I told you I didn't want to think about it. But see, like those rocks, those holes there? I mean, that's definitely... I bet if you went and inspected just a few of these, you would probably find more than you'd like to know, like in this little area. My eyes don't pick up anything yet. That just comes with camping in the desert. Probably want to keep an eye out under your truck too, at times. I'm just afraid to walk around and then see another one, and then I realize there's 10 or 20 of them. That's where ignorance is a little bit of bliss. Well, good morning from City of Rocks again. I survived the first night. My rattlesnake friend that was there last night has moved. And I found it, actually. It's still here. Want to see it? Some of you said yes, some of you said no, but gotta show you. There's my truck. And under there looks like the same friend that we saw last night, curled up in the exact same way, just under a different rock now. I did some looking into it, and I want to say it might be a prairie rattler.
Well, not exactly, but we'll come back to the what in a bit. But first, here's a flashback to an encounter I had with a prairie rattlesnake a couple years back.
Region of the United... There's a rattlesnake, look. It's my first rattlesnake sighting on the Cactus Atlas. I scared it and it scared me. You hear that rattle? I saw it right at the same time it saw me. I'm not gonna get closer. I'm maybe like 6 feet away from it. I'm zoomed in. It's a beauty though.
This is a good lesson here. Note how after I backed up a few feet, the snake began its retreat. These creatures want absolutely nothing to do with us. Give them their space and all will be fine.
But, you know, you just gotta keep an eye out here. They like to hang out under their rocks, I guess. I reckon during the midday it'll go underneath a rock, but we'll see about tonight. And I've been very careful as I walk around just to have awareness, and I have not had any issues clearly. And I figure my campsite here is pretty clean and clear, so it's easy to see what's going on. And so I'm not worried. I think the hazard at the site at Site 39 is getting out of your vehicle and coming up to that spot there and just being mindful for if there's anything laying about. And maybe in the wintertime, if you came here, you probably wouldn't deal with that as much if I had to guess. This is a prime season. Ah, yes, Norman. So I do know what Norman is now, and I don't have footage of the thing that helped me identify Norman, because you saw Norman's usually just coiled up, doesn't move, doesn't budge a muscle, doesn't, yeah, it's a rattlesnake. Norman doesn't really rattle his tail. Well, he did very briefly. I'll explain that in a minute. Didn't get that on film. But basically, Norman just sits there camouflaged and doesn't want to be bothered. And if you don't bother Norman, Norman doesn't bother you. And here's my tent. And then Norman has been, I think that's Norman's main residence at times. Although my understanding is snakes will kind of rotate places in a territory. So I've seen Norman there. And then I saw Norman underneath that rock right there yesterday morning. So I think that might be Norman's morning hideaway. But he's not there right now, or she. I actually think it might be a she. But not the biggest snake of it, that species or that type. So there are, I think, four types of rattlesnakes here in the at City of Rocks. I talked to the people in the visitor center for a while. I think rocks rattler snakes, blacktail, eastern, or I shouldn't say eastern, but just prairie, some type of prairie rattlesnake, and the western diamondback rattlesnake, which those of us in Arizona are very familiar with that one. I thought Norman was a prairie rattler because I couldn't see its tail when it was all coiled up. If you look at my video, you tell me. You can't even see a rattle. At least I didn't spot it. But yesterday, I don't know, it was probably midday. It was really hot. I came back, and I'll show you what happened. I parked approximately there like I usually do, and then I was really careful to get out because I already knew of Norman, and it was in its spot over there. But this time, Norman wasn't coiled up. He was very alert. So I think the vibration of the truck put Norman on guard. So as I opened the door to the truck to step out, now mind you, I was a safe distance away, like 15 feet or something. Norman gave the tail a really quickly, then stopped, and then very slowly retreated into its hole, like just very casually, clearly wanted nothing to do with me, and then went into the hole. And then you could actually even still see him or her, like when part of its scales when you peeked in there, like even from a distance. But as it did that, though, its tail and rattle were revealed. So it 100% is a rattlesnake. And I am happy to say I can report it now as a western diamondback because it has the black and white stripes on the tail. Now, according to the folks at the visitor center, they don't have the Mojave variety here, which also can have similar coloration and marking. So I am deducing, therefore, that it is 100% a western diamondback, which is the most dangerous, though, of the types that are here. Not that they're all not dangerous. It's a very serious matter if you get bit by any of them. But yeah, Norman is a Western Diamondback, no doubt. So I've been living with a snake for the last couple days, and I don't mind at all. I actually kind of liked it. I know some of you are screaming bloody murder now, and like, no way, I'm not gonna go there now, or this or that. But I think before I kind of move on with the episode, I do want to make a couple notes about snakes, because I've been having a lot of run-ins with snakes and rattlers this year. I call it the year of the snake, even though I don't think it is officially. I don't know if the Chinese calendar has a snake year, but for me, it is definitely the year of the snake. If I include all snakes that I've seen to date this year, including non-venomous ones, I've honestly lost count. I am probably now approaching 15 snake encounters here in 2026. Whereas in almost 20 years of living in Arizona and hiking and all of this, I went probably most of those years without seeing a single one. You know, typically they like to stay camouflaged and stay still. They don't even want to rattle or have to even go there, right? They just want you to keep on moving, and they want nothing to do with you. They're not. People will say things like some snakes are mean or angry. I don't buy that for a second. If you mess with them, they'll of course get defensive, but I don't think they're sitting there fuming with anger, like I'm gonna bite you, man. Like how people portray it. It isn't. That's just ignorant, man. It's really ignorant. The key is you just need to be mindful in areas like this. Walk where you can see. Don't stick your hand in cracks. Don't get drunk and start poking with them with sticks. That's where people really get bit mostly, is that kind of thing. And when you don't do that and you don't mess with it, they don't even like get mad, or like how I'm guilty of it now. They don't get the rattler even going. Like they're very peaceful creatures, and you just need to be aware of them. And once you accept that and you move slowly and carefully, any fear goes away. Like once you expose yourself to it over and over, and you observe the same things over and over, then you will accept it yourself. Especially if you're out in the field like I do all of the time. I mean, that's not going to change, right? So I could either choose to just put myself in a bubble and live inside my house and never go outside and live in fear, or I could accept it and behave accordingly. And I've chosen the latter. And I am here to tell you, hear me carefully, like these snakes are not evil creatures. There's no reason to kill them. And I'm going to give you one thing to consider, and why I'm actually very pleased that I saw that here. Any of you that have done desert camping, and you know, like deer mice and kangaroo rats and pack rats and the ones that get into your engine and build a nest. And yes, I've had that happen more than once, and I've had one in here. My wife had one get in her car, and it literally chewed a wire, and we had to go get her car serviced to fix it. I hate those things. I am not a fan. But guess what Norman loves to eat? That's one of Norman's prime menu items, are eating those little mice that do that. So when I saw Norman, I thought, great. Like now I have a more effective solution to keep those dang things away from my truck. So I've viewed Norman as free pest control. And you'd be a fool not to want those around. You really would, unless you like to live in a world overridden by rats that carry disease and all that other stuff. Yeah, they can be cute looking, but so I would go out of my way to keep Norman happy and just be careful. Yet so many, I would say a large number of people would be inclined to, if they saw that, they'd go get a shovel or something and just just chop off Norman's head or do something like that, needlessly, out of fear. But I don't know. I would say maybe next time you have that, maybe consider some of those things and weigh it out. Like what do you like better, rats or in your car engine or truck engine, or giving a rattlesnake some space so it can help clean up the environment. Like maybe that's a trade-off one should consider, but all I'm gonna leave this with is they truly like aren't gonna come running after you. Their first inclination is to not move, to stay camouflaged. If you're out on the hiking trails, I guarantee you're passing them all the time and you don't even know it. They don't even rattle their tails. And yes, that could pose a danger, right? Because sometimes they seem to wait till the last minute. But I have another video coming out where you will see textbook behavior. Like I stepped on something that disturbed one, and that one gave the loud warning, and I backed off. Everybody did their job like supposed to, and nobody got hurt. And, you know, so even when you do get close, they usually seem to give you a warning. Like they really don't want to waste their venom on you. Like that's how they eat. So, so that's my public service message here this morning at City of Rock State Park. Oh, Norman, where are you? You know, Norman, if I didn't think we could be friends anymore, I just don't think I could bear it.